When you're ready, are you ready? Hello and welcome back to Artists at Work. I'm George Alexander Thompson.
And my name is Ra Heatherbridge.
We're absolutely delighted to have you joining us again. It's been quite a slow year for us. We've had a lot going on. But we're now on episode 12 of season 3.
We hope. I mean, constantly we fuck up what episode we're on. They're non-sequential. You can just listen.
You can dip a toe. You can listen whenever you want. But we try and keep it in order.
I mean, I slightly recommend not listening to episode 2 because we were trashed.
It's a great episode to listen to, though, for that very reason.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's kick it off with some news. Ra, what's your news?
Well, I'm just kind of back at work, which is something that has taken me a while, you know, dealing with grief and dealing with divorce and all of that kind of shite. As just kind of, I've gone a bit quiet on the old work front, but I met up with Tom from the Handlebars and we did another application for Develop Your Creative Practice.
Nice.
So I'm hoping if I get that, that's great. I'll be able to develop my creative practice and do more poetry and personal drawings and photos, focused art. And then I went and did a photo shoot with them, which is always a pleasure, always an absolute pleasure. They give so much. It's so hysterical. Please just Google the Handlebars and go and see one of their fucking shows.
They're a really, really beautiful group of people to work with. We've done a couple of shoots together with them.
Yeah.
And they always just bring so much energy to the room. It's really amazing to see, energetic young performers give everything on a photo shoot and really try and develop characters. And
yeah, they figure out their characters in front of us. And I'm just like watching
beautiful.
This is just hysterical. And it really fills my cup. And I've been working with the Handlebars now for about 5 years. And you know what? I just absolutely adore them.
They're really worth going to go see. So do check out their website because they're going to have a busy summer and they'll have lots on. And it's really fun. They're great.
It's really fun, isn't it? And actually, my next bits of news are kind of combined news. So we went to the Vine Estate.
Oh, it's so good.
I love the Vine. Second time back at the Vine. That's a National Trust property. And
in Basingstoke, yeah.
Basingstoke. I mean, the grounds are gorgeous. They've got like a 600-year-old oak tree that I fell in love with and found it very hard to leave behind. But when we went in, it's the historians there. They took us around. They told us everything about the building and, you know, the people that used to live there. And it was quite haunting and quite lovely. And we took photos all day. If you Google Ra Heatherbridge and the Vine, I think at some point they'll be in The Guardian, those pictures. I don't want to give too much away. Mm-hmm. But my God, what a rich, gorgeous day we had.
It's amazing when you meet people who are like serious niche experts in what they do.
Yeah.
And speaking to people who have dedicated their lives to the preservation and documentation of just invaluable things that we have in this country. They're such an immense resource. And go to the Vine, like book a day trip. It's the most beautiful place in the world.
And they're so generous as well.
And you
can
just go up, take a picnic, sit in the grounds, sit by the river, have some sandwiches.
We bought a sandwich there, didn't we?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, there was lots of dogs outside, which I really liked.
It was very cute.
And I mean, we picked up a first folio of Jane Austen's Great Expectations, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't. Great Expectations is Charles Dickens, no.
Oh yeah. What was it?
Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre. I don't know my literature. I'm a dyslexic.
But no, just the stuff they have in that building is incredible.
They had like a 600-year-old leatherback
but
book of minutes. But that was
the last shoot we did. I think we've spoken about that one.
Ah, yeah, but I'm just saying it's fucking
just
great.
saying it's really cool.
Just saying it's great. But I'm so lucky to have this rapport with the National Trust because I'm at school, basically. I failed school and that's fine. But now I'm a fucking history dork and I just love it. I can't get enough of it. And it's just such a shame that I was asleep or, picking my nose at the back of the history class, because I actually really love it.
But I don't, I think that's fine. Like, I think you're so much more engaged because you're working in it.
It's on my own terms.
And it's on your own terms. And also you're seeing it. It's actually in front of you and you can connect with it. And your pictures will be treasured by the National Trust Archive for hundreds of years to come because they document something really important.
It's beautiful.
It's pretty magical.
It? Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to be in the documents forever, aren't I?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. You're literally like on the file. Boom. This is the project they did. It's very cool.
Oh, I do love it. But yeah, big shout out to the National Trust. Whoop, whoop.
Thanks, guys.
We love you. And the next one is pretty epic, actually. So we've done this shoot like 3 times. We did the promo shots. Then we went and did the show live. And then I went and did some contrived shots. Contrived, do you know what I mean? Setups,
yeah.
It's Chicken Legs by Les Enfants Terribles, who I've been working with for the guts of a decade. They're 20 years old, and their latest show, Chicken Legs, George.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's based on a book. I can't remember the name of the author.
Oh, she messaged me on Instagram. I died.
Oh, no way. This is very exciting.
Sophie Anderson, and she's a button and a bean. And she wrote this book, The Chicken Legs, and she's a really accomplished author. But The House with Chicken Legs is an epic, enchanting tale. And I absolutely adored the actors in it as well. I mean, Eve, they were just incredible and gave so much humility and talent. And I got goosebumps thinking about it. But anyway, so... we went down to Red Hill, where James Seeger lives. He's one of the art directors at Les Enfants, and we went up a hill and just shot these incredible shots. Go look at my...
It was so much fun. It was just great. It was everyone... Do you know what it was? Everyone worked so hard to make sure that everyone was comfortable and safe and like in the right place, and we were all scrabbling through forest and muddy
over
hills
brambles.
And like over brambles and trying to get these ridiculous shots. And everyone's like... Ra was lying on the ground and lying on her back, trying to get like up shots with the sunset and stuff like that. And we had to shoot really quickly because we wanted golden hour.
Yeah.
So we didn't have long to get these shots. It was incredible.
It's that really juicy moment of the day where everything looks fucking amazing. And like the shots are on my Instagram, Petherbridge Photography. And like the sun was beaming through the clouds, and it was just that moment where you can understand what God is. And it was really beautiful. And then we got to go to Manchester, and we love Manchester.
Yeah.
It was at the theatre there, Home, which is a beautiful theatre.
We got there and your whole picture was on the side of the building. It was amazing.
Yeah, that was a moment. I was like, oh my God, I'm like huge and I'm at home. We must have a big shout out to Amanda Fawcett, who is so accommodating and so lovely, one of the producers up there, who has since moved down to Bristol, I believe, is freelancing.
Oh, nice.
But I had a lovely rapport with her, and then we shot, with Andrew A.B.
Andrew A.B. was incredible.
He's
what a guy.
He's a photographer.
You found him on Instagram, no?
I found him on Insta because I really, I wasn't available to do some shoot. And hold on, I'll find his Instagram. And I found, because I wasn't available for a shoot, so I was like looking for somebody who I liked his work. It's Andrew A.B. Photography on Instagram. He does weddings, but he does really atmospheric theatre shots. I think he's just got an incredible eye. And he came along to shoot with myself and George and all the Les Enfants crew. And it was just, we had a lovely shoot where we worked in tandem. He got shots that I didn't get. I got shots that he got, because like we were on opposite sides of the room at all time. And it was just really nice to work with another photographer and work with somebody who I think is so talented and saw things so differently on the same day. And I love that shit. And we got to geek out for a while. It was good.
It was really nice working with the both of you, because watching two people shoot the same show with completely different styles is so enchanting.
Isn't it?
Because you're looking at, it sort of reminds you that as an artist, like you can have 10 people sat in a circle around the same model and every drawing will be utterly different.
Love that
because
shit. It's great, isn't it?
It's so beautiful that you can, the way that people interpret stuff, and then you think about an audience and how everyone in the audience is going to have a different reaction to the show.
Yeah.
Because it's going to hit different buttons. It's a very emotional show.
Oh, yeah.
I got quite teary. There are two really bits where you're just like, your heart gets wrenched out of your body and you just think, God, it's amazing.
I do hope it ends up in the West End because it's beautiful. It really is.
Really nice.
I'm really proud to be involved with it.
And obviously Sam Wire did the...
Puppets and Costumes.
Puppets and Costumes.
Our lovely friend Sam Wire, who just won an Olivier.
Outrageous.
He did the Puppets and Costumes, which as always were really beautiful and a pleasure to photograph, and it's a pleasure to be his friend.
Yeah. Nails it. It was a great, it was a really special show, actually.
I do want to add as well, can we just have a moment for technical difficulties? So during the shoot, my my AFS 24-70 VR, whatever the fuck it's called, my lens, the ring stopped spinning. I felt like the gears kind of like in my lens go, and I was like, oh fuck. But like very quickly, I just swapped with took George's lens off the camera that he was doing a backup shoot with, and I'm just really happy that I always have a backup lens.
Yeah.
Because you sometimes think, oh, fuck, can I be taking all the backup stuff?
Yeah, it would have completely buggered your shoot.
I would have had no lens. So and I had another 50mm lens in my bag just in case. But photographers out there, just take the backups because you never know what's going to go wrong. So just be ready for, something breaking.
Yeah, it's really important to have those spare bits of kit and your backups just so that if anything goes wrong, especially if you're working with a client or you're doing a big job, because I get a bit lazy with taking kit. I'm like, do I want to lug this huge bag of stuff? Maybe I just take my little bag.
Just do it.
And actually, just take everything.
I ran into more technical difficulties, actually, because I did a third shoot. I went up to Manchester, just me and James Seeger. Had a fucking lovely time with James, actually.
Nice.
It was really nice getting to know him a bit better and realising how creative he is, like kind of learning his creative process and what he gives to everything. And he's a really smashing bloke. But I went and did the setups. It was really fun. And we were like, oh my God, we've got 3 hours. Usually with Les Enfants, they're like, go. And it's like, I've got 20 seconds to get every shot. This time we were like, oh my God, we've got a whole show's worth of length to call out the shots that I want.
That's really nice.
It is. But in reality, we got all the shots that we wanted. I was sketching out the shots that I wanted while we were watching the pre-show to do the setups, if that makes sense. So we watched the show in the afternoon and then we do the setups in the evening. We had 4 minutes to do each shot that we wanted.
Wow. Which
is a lot when you're moving a big set and all of the tech has to happen as well and rolling through lighting cues. And it was gone. We were like, oh my God, 2.5 hours have just snapped by. And then it was done. And I was like, okay, it's all on the card. I had it on a backup card. And my laptop is failing at the minute. Oh.
That's really bad. We need to sort that out.
I know, but it's a lot of money, and I've broken a lens as well. So money. I got back and I tried to load them into my Mac, and my Mac was not responding. Then I know. And then I took the memory cards and tried to load them into my PC, which I fixed, and it said, no data, please format.
No, you're joking.
And I was like, oh, that's a bit of a panic. And they were like, I can't wait to see the shots. And I was like, so I had to spend...
Oh God, what happened?
I knew that the information would be there, but because I went between a Mac and a PC, it wasn't reading the same language.
Okay, yeah.
And I was just like, my heart was in my face. And I was just like, oh, fuck, okay, there has to be a data recovery available. I downloaded it. It was 40, 50 quid.
Fuck.
But I didn't care. It's priceless.
It's the whole shit,
And I got all the data back, but it just cost money. I knew that because basically this is really geeky.
But that's so what? Whose fault is that? Is that the camera's fault, the computer's fault, or the memory stick's fault? And who should you...
It's a little bit of a rookie error. So Macs and PCs don't always speak the same language.
Sure.
So when you swap from one to another, say I put my memory card in a Mac, this is what happened. And then I put it in the PC. The PC's like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm not going to read that. They've been on a Mac,
And you're not allowed into my club. You're not wearing the right clothes.
But how these memory cards work is basically they come blank. They come like, say a memory card is a block of flats.
Mm-hmm.
All of the flats are empty when you first get it, and then you fill them up with images or furniture, let's say.
Sure.
And then when you delete it all of that information is still there, but you've pseudo made them blank so you can copy another image over.
Oh,
it.
okay, sure, that makes sense.
So like the ghost of the other image is always going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's why things can be recoverable, like when you're a detective and stuff like that, you know, like the data's
it leaves a trace and you just pull back the information.
Yeah, it's so cool. I'm just like...
That is very cool.
It's very sciencey. But like I knew, for that reason, I knew it was a brand new card that I'd used, and I knew that I'd never deleted anything on it. So I was like, it's just there. It's just being shy.
It's just hidden. Yeah.
So
because you're really good with that. You always... You don't delete stuff, you back stuff up, you have double things, like...
Yeah.
You're good at it.
People think I'm nuts, but I use a fresh memory card for every shoot.
Mm-hmm.
And because you can fucking drive over those fuckers in a Jeep and they'll still have the information on it. Those sandwich drives that everyone's like, yeah, I just keep everything on the sandwich drive. I'm like, they break.
Yeah.
They break. The needle comes off and they're just like, I'm broken now. And I'm like, well, I've got everything backed up on SD cards. I mean, I feel like I've just bored the shit out of everyone listening to this podcast, because this is why I don't talk about, you know, PC.
No, it's nice to hear your process. And like, also it's like good for people to know that. I was talking to someone the other day who their partner is an illustrator, and I was saying that one of my biggest frustrations is doing an illustration that I really like, and then as soon as I start to color it, I fuck something up. And she was like, oh, like most illustrators like do a drawing, scan it, print it out on nice paper, and then color the print so you never touch your original. And I was like, well, that's fucking smart. Like, obviously that's what everyone's doing. And I've been like, not doing that. So now I'm determined to just be a bit smarter about using my computer, putting stuff through Illustrator, tidying up lines, making changes, printing shit really nicely, and then coloring it. It just makes sense.
It's really important to have these really weird, tedious processes, isn't it?
But then, I mean, it is, but then part of what is nice about my work is that there's a spontaneity in it that is uncourse correctable. And because I'm not illustrating for, you know, I'm not doing what Carrie Fransman does, where she's like, they've got to be perfect for the book. I'm not creating illustrations in that sense. So they can, there's a bigger margin for error. But it would be nice to, if I really like a drawing, scan it, print it 3 times, and then do 4 different versions or whatever.
See, this is why I would love to have a studio with you where I could just step in and use my tech skills to get your process recorded and saved and locked in, if you will. Because I see you getting that intense focus, and that's what's insane about your work. But I'm like, I want to get every part of it.
Well, this leads on quite nicely to my news, is that I've started creating these, I don't know what I'm calling them yet, but at the moment kind of working title is illustration sculptures, where I have done an illustration on a piece of card.
Illustroptures.
No, I hate it.
Okay.
No, I just, no. Don't know what to say to that. Absolutely not. Illustrations on card and then scalpeling out the design.
Yeah.
And then scanning the paper cutout, putting it through Illustrator.
Yes.
Tracing the image.
Yes. You know how to do that?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
And then sending it to Frank. No, this is what I've been doing with my time. Chloe Bell taught me how to image trace. So I then get the illustration, scan it, put it through Illustrator. Then I send the EPS file.
Shut up.
Are you wet for me yet? To Frank. And then he cuts it out on the CNC machine.
I'm so proud of you.
Thanks, man.
You learned to think.
Yeah, because I said, well, it was Sophie Irish.
She runs Create 180.
Basically, I said, I want to do this project. I want to cut things out on the CNC machine and make these sculptures. If I just send you the file, will you get it ready for the CNC machine? And she was just like, no, I'm not going to do that for you. You can find out how to do it. You can watch a YouTube video and you can send us the file the way that we want it from a client. and we'll cut it out on the CNC machine. And I was like, that is absolutely fair enough. But as a result, I did, I put the work in and I learned how to do it. And it's not that complicated. I've just always had this thing in my head where I've gone, oh, technology, I couldn't possibly. And actually, I just need to focus on it and do it. And then it's done.
Or we could just get you some Ritalin.
Oh, it'd be great.
Yeah.
But that is one of my bits of news is these sculptures because I finished the first one.
I think they're really glorious as well. I'm incredibly proud to see. I mean, I feel like I bullied you into cutting them out.
No, you did. It was really important because I'd mentioned it a few times and you were like, just do it. Just do what you've said you're going to do, Just do exactly the thing that you want to do.
And then you're doing the thing that you want to do.
And then I did it. And now it's
on its feet, basically, now. And you've
quite literally on its feet.
Yeah. And it's just really nice to see this insane thing that you're obsessed with, like large. Nice. It is an obsession, isn't it? Like
it has become completely
fucked
obsessive.
Up.
And the what it is pushing me to do is I've spoken to Sophie about this as well. There's a beautiful courtyard outside Create 180. And in the summer, I want to do an exhibition of the sculptures, set up a really nice bar, do a press release, and have my first solo exhibition. Get Rasheen to...
Can I dress up as a waiter and go around with a silver platter of pork scratchings and pour everyone white lightning into champagne flutes?
No, you can go around and hand everyone nice canapes that I will make, and you can pour everyone champagne, but there'll be no white lightning and no pork scratchings.
Okay.
Because it's not your exhibition, it's my exhibition. I'll hand around pork scratchings at your exhibition.
Thanks, babe.
No worries. Absolutely not. But yeah, no, that's the kind of where I'm at with my work is I need to take the next step. I need to be stricter with myself about developing my skills.
Oh my God, are we both trying to develop our practice?
Well, because if I do an exhibition and you photograph it beautifully in the summer, then I can apply for Arts Council funding to do them all over the place and develop my practice.
Develop your practice.
Which is really exciting.
I mean...
So that's my big news at the minute.
That's fantastic big news. And I'm incredibly proud of you for learning a thing and doing a thing and getting it done.
Thank you so much. My other bit of news is that, and this is... It's actually it's not my news. I just participated in it. But our incredible producer, Alex McKenzie, lives with an amazing chef called Adam Bernstein. Mm-hmm. His Instagram is @AdamPBernstein. And he just, in our sort of friend group on WhatsApp, where we all, all of us who live southeast in London, he just sent a picture of like a Louisiana crab boil to the group and said, does anyone want to come round on Friday and eat some crab? And we were like, yeah, that sounds great.
I mean, the picture was very tempting, like lots of
God, it was
charred sweet corn and it was just beautiful.
It was amazing. And we all went around. He went to Billingsgate Market with Alex at 6:00 in the morning.
Nice.
They had scallop and bacon sandwiches for breakfast. Let's
lovely.
Go and do that. And then they cooked this beautiful meal of crab and we drank beer and we had wine and it was just like, it was a really sunny day. And it really filled my cup with being around my friends, eating amazing food, doing something, just wholesome. Really different and wholesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess it's more their news than it is my news that I went to a dinner party. But there was, I wasn't there, but I saw the pictures. But it was so nice.
It was just beautiful.
He did oysters with homemade pesto homemade salsa that Alex made with cheese grated on top and bits of bacon in it, and then under the grill really quickly. They were so good, man.
So oysters taste good if you cook them?
Yeah. Okay. Disgusting raw.
Fucking gross. Sea snot.
Yeah. Shouldn't be eaten raw.
I'm just like the emperor has no clothes with oysters. People are like, oh my God.
I don't think people like them. Yeah, I think they're
I'm like,
it.
You're a fucking cunt.
You're lying.
They're not wearing any clothes.
Such a nice way to look at it. Like, no.
No.
So that's my food news.
Yeah. Got anything else?
And then, oh, sure. I mean, the exhibition will have closed. And I did mention it in the last episode because I bought the book. But the Louise Bourgeois exhibition. Are
you still banging on about it?
It was so good. Like, she's so great.
Have you got anything else to say that you didn't say in the last episode?
No, just that. I really got it.
Guys, go check out Louise
Go check out
Bourgeois.
Louise Bourgeois. It's the
Love you so much.
It's the kind of work that I find it very difficult to explain to people why I found it so like emotional and like in just so beautiful, and I just really connect with it. And I think it's worth going to these quite challenging exhibitions and looking at work that you're maybe not very comfortable with, and you don't even need to find out what it's about really, but just really analyze what your emotional reaction to a piece of artwork
let
is.
me just have a little look.
And
I can maybe...
But do you know what I mean? Like in any exhibition, not necessarily just this exhibition, but going to an art gallery and walk around it quite quickly and just find what you like, and don't necessarily overthink it, but really like just try and connect with work and see what you're attracted to.
From looking at the Louise Bourgeois thing, I would say that you're attracted to it because, and I mean this in the most high compliment, you like trash.
Yeah.
You think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And this is essentially really broken things that are really framed beautifully. And what she does is just like hacked. Actually reminds me of our friend Andrew Cleward.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
It's so similar to his work, isn't it? Like he's the face masks and stuff that he makes.
It's quite grotesque.
Yeah.
But I think when you see something that's broken and really damaged and then put together again with a little bit of love and spit and optimism, you really connect to it. I don't know about your childhood.
That's a very, very interesting thing to say. And you're not wrong. Like I mean, fuck. You're so right. I'm like, what the hell?
Like that fucking doll that you won't let go of.
I can't. It's a part of my soul.
Oh, it's broken.
It is.
Broken.
Yeah, broken and loved. Wow. Yeah, that's pretty. That's a really insightful comment. I'm quite impressed.
I love you.
Thanks, Mum and Dad.
I'm just gonna lean over and get my trusty tool belt. Okay, so I got a little bit of sad news. I mean, it's kind of a lead on from news. You know my Purdy's tool?
Yes.
I lost it.
No.
I know, my 9-in-1.
That's a really good tool. That was the one I bitched about when we started the podcast, and actually it's really good.
Yeah, it's really good. Anyway, I lost it and I was like,
oh sorry.
I was like, I know. It's all right. It'll turn up. But I needed to get a new multi-tool, and I was like, years ago I used to have a Gerber, like Gerber. And I went online.
Is that what that is?
That's a Gerber, and it's like just a multi-tool. I suppose it's kind of like a Leatherman. But I really like the action. Listen to that. It's got like a spring action. Give that a go.
Oh.
On the pliers. And
I really like that it's got... That's really good.
It's got a really nice springy...
It's also, because it's cut out, it's not very heavy.
No, it's not heavy at all. It's got a nice handling to it. But it's come in really handy. It's got a bottle opener on it. It's got a little screwdriver, which is really good for when I need to...
Oh, it's got all the little things.
It's got all the little... It's like...
It's got little scissors, darling.
Just in case.
But that's cute, the way that it folds up backwards. Out. I want to cut myself.
Okay. Oh. You okay?
Yeah, fine.
Cool.
Straight blade and a serrated blade.
Yeah, I mean...
You've been to the beach, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been to the
it's full
beach.
of sand.
Yeah. Well, we used it at the beach because we needed it.
For opening bottles.
Yeah. On the beach. And to use the scissors because we needed to open a packet.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm really...
That's a really lovely bit of kit. I like it. I'm worried that your Purdy's thing will be in my bag, maybe.
You.
I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible.
I've also got... No, that's it. That's all my favourite things, my new Gerber. And I really liked the website as well, which always helps. No offence, but fucking sort your website out. It really helps you love something if the website is nice.
Yeah.
Why am I bitching about
Don't
this
bitch
website?
about on this.
No, cut that shit
Take
out because
that
we
out.
want
sponsorship.
Yeah,
Yeah. Favourite thing, one thing, two things. So in January, I was like, I have enough books and I don't need more books. And I'm going to read all the books that I do have before I buy any more books.
Okay.
Because, you've seen my house. Like, it's just like, it's a cupboard of books.
Yes.
And then beautiful Maz, gorgeous actor, just sent me this at Christmas. And I found it the other day. I was reading through it.
It's called...
It is called Hats and Anthology by Stephen Jones, the milliner. And I just arrived in an envelope and it said, saw this and thought of you, miss you lots and can't wait to see you soon. Lots of love and Merry Christmas, Maz.
Aww.
And it was honestly the most touching thing just to get a completely unexpected, beautiful book. I think she found it in a charity shop.
Oh, it is very you. It's just full of hats.
Oh, yeah. It's a sort of history of hats with gorgeous illustrations and beautiful pictures. And Stephen Jones has written quite a lot of the content for it. And it's, every time I pick it up, it sparks joy.
Oh, it's lovely to be inspired. That's what our favourite things are made of.
Exactly. So that is like such a special one. And the other thing is, I mean, I'm sat here with 4 books on the table that I've recently bought, which is terrible. Rasheen and I went to the Hayward Gallery a while ago to the Mixing It Up exhibition. And it's an exhibition of painting today. And I bought the catalogue. And it's one of the most insane collections of painting that I've seen in a gallery for such a long time. I think a lot of the painting exhibitions that I've seen of late have been not necessarily very inclusive and definitely not very inspired. And this exhibition was a incredible demonstration of what a painting exhibition can be about. And it was
Where was it at?
stunning. The Hayward Gallery in the South Bank.
Do you just like live there now?
I do now, yeah, because
Okay.
I can't we have the most incredible exhibitions and art going on in London all the time, and I'm very bad at giving it time
Yeah.
and giving it space.
Me too.
And Rasheen has been really good at dragging me out to exhibitions.
Rasheen works at the White Cube. The White Cube is amazing.
And we've been to a couple of White Cube things recently. But yeah, I've been really enjoying just trying to get to as many exhibitions as possible.
Can you invite me to some, please?
Yeah, of course.
Just been a bit busy lately.
Well, yeah, we've both been away for 3 months. It's been wild.
Well, we've not been away. I just don't know what just happened.
I don't know how it's April already.
I don't know what's happening. I mean, these podcast episodes aren't really sequential, but me and George have just been in a bit of a tailspin of getting things done. And we're coming back together and like fucking weird shit's happening. Like, you read now?
I read whole books. I buy books again.
You know how to do an Illustrator file.
I make sculpture and don't just illustrate.
It's just great.
It's all going great.
Yeah, and I have a multi-tool. If you were listening to the last episode, I'm like, or any of the episodes, I'm a poet. I'm a poet.
Yeah, you're a performer. You're an actual. You're an active poet.
I'm an actor. I'm on the
You're on the circuit.
See, maybe I'll do a slam.
Can we do a poetry slam?
Yeah, I think I'd be very nervous, but I think we should. I think we should go. I think we should. I've got a poem.
Hit me up.
What they say on the circuit, or at least the one night that I went to that one time, new shit.
New shit.
I don't know if that's a thing.
It's definitely a new thing. You're making it a thing.
I'm making it a thing. Okay. So if you'll have listened to episode 1, I have a poem called "I'm Awake at 4 a.m." and it's just kind of like a side shoot of that, really, insomnia and kind of anxiety driving. And it's called News. So the news is really fucking scary. Turn it off, go outside, plant something, and get your news from a friend that you trust and understands the complexity of your anxious brain and will feed you the news, only the necessary bits, so you don't have a meltdown. Turn off the news. End.
That's good.
Is it?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it's very helpful advice for a lot of people.
Yeah. Like, remember you accidentally said something about being nuked on Wednesday and I just had a fucking conniption.
Oh yeah, I sort of forgot that you can't can't process that.
No, because
I actually don't think anyone can process that. It was quite an offensive joke. Like, no. But no, exactly. Like Al and I watch the news every morning, and
I can't go about my day if I do that.
no, sometimes it just hits you so hard. Like, you're just like, what is the point of me doing this when that's other people's life experience?
It's very hard, isn't it?
It's very challenging. And what you've got to do is you've almost got to be like, I'm making artwork. That's the resistance. That's part of the conversation. Just keep
making,
bullying ahead with making stuff and making creativity and putting joy out into the world.
Like I kind of got my news through my lovely friend Chris Nelson, because he works for the RNLI. He does a lot of rescues, and I was like, how's the RNLI and the rescues? And he's like, well, we have a lot of Syrian refugees and refugees from all over the world. And that's how I kind of piece the news together, is by hearing about who's coming over on the boats, what it's like. Like the people coming over in the boats are like, you spend 10 grand on these little dinghies to get over here. I mean, these people are people. They're not what people think they are when you get the news from the news. If you get the news from the reality of the situation.
People have a disconnect where they don't think it could ever happen to them. So in order to be a refugee, you have to be other or lesser than you. And that's just, it's not the case. Like, anyone at any point can be displaced. Like, anything could happen. Whether it's a flood, whether it's your house burning down, whether it's, a plague or a famine or a war or whatever. Like, we're all
the fucking same.
Yeah,
so like,
we're all a life experience away from becoming refugees. And if you don't have the emotional capacity in your mind to understand that the people making that journey need our help more than anyone else, you're out of it. You don't know. You don't know what's going on.
Like, this is the thing, when I turn on the news and I see what's happening, and they nonchalantly say a bomb was set off and exploded this building, my heart, I can't cope. I'm thinking about all the families that have babies, and all those babies that have mums and dads, and they might have watched them explode. And I'm like, okay, I have to turn this off. And then I go outside, do a little bit of foraging, and I put my hand in some soil, and I'm a little bit better, and I make sure that the news isn't on. And if I really need to know something, I just talk to the artists around me, and I get enough information from the people I love to not be unable to cope. Because
I mean, I think there is no point looking at, I don't know.
Some people are able to watch the news. You watch it every morning.
I watch it all the time, but also, like, I don't know, like, I also don't watch true crime dramas, and I don't like really horrors, and I don't like, super violent stuff on television, because because I'm not able to process the enjoyment of it on that level. The news for me is very, like, perfunctory in the sense that I get information, I process it, and I deal with it. But there is no point watching something if it's going to upset you.
See,
the idea of trauma tourism, where people are just like watching it and like geeking out. It's like,
I like to try and comprehend what motivates somebody to do terrible things. You know this about me, like
for sure.
Like, I don't watch murder mystery and solved cases and all of those kind of things. I am quite obsessive about. I don't watch them because I get enjoyment from it. I'm really interested to understand how somebody gets there.
Yeah, sure.
And how people didn't intervene. And like with everything that's happening at the moment, like, I can't understand why cunts exist. And I shouldn't use the word cunts. I can't understand why awful people exist.
We got told off for using the word cunts the other day, didn't we?
Let's reclaim it as a positive word.
No, it's I don't have an answer for that. It's very complicated. People are assholes. It's a vicious cycle. And hopefully we'll get to a point where everyone just is nicer. And I think art can help with that. Do a drawing and send it to someone you love. That's nice.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's literally my job to take all of those feelings that I have and put it into what I make. So, like, if you go to my website's quite dark imagery. And quite heartfelt imagery, and that's where I drive it into, because if I didn't put it anywhere else, I'd probably be a very ill person, you know?
I definitely got to a point a few weeks ago where I was in a real funk and I was feeling quite sad and I couldn't really understand why. And then I went to the studio for 3 days and I painted, and I was like, oh, I hadn't given my brain its outlet
It's fix.
for like, you know, you're an artist, like it builds up inside you. And if you don't deal with it, if you don't put your artwork down, you build resentment and fear and anger and frustration, because you have to. The whole point of being an artist is it is a need to do something creative. It's having to put
getting
something
it out,
down.
yeah.
And if you feel like you're not doing that enough, then do it more, because it will make you feel much better.
Yeah. Go make art. Message from George and Ra. Or read a poem, or write a poem and send it to your mum. She'd love it. So I wanna read a poem, but it's not by me.
Nice. Who's it by?
It's from the book Titanic by Bridget Minamore. Bridget Minamore.
Is this from the library of Alex Mackenzie?
It is from the library of Alex Mackenzie. Alex Mackenzie is our producer, and he's got some fucking good books. And I really liked it. Anyway, this one's called But a Second-Hand Emotion. You're an asthma attack. You make my lungs tight, my chest contract, my back press against my breasts. My airways are a mess. I totally relate to that.
That's really intense.
Yeah. This one's called Against All Odds. I want to cut your legs off. Not so you can't walk away, more in the hope that you'll stay exactly where I want to put you.
Wow. That's really, I love that, but it's very dark.
Isn't it?
I want to cut your legs off, not so that you can walk away, but in the hope that you'll stay exactly where I put you. That's evil.
I love it.
I love that. These are great.
Go on, you do one.
Oh, baby, baby. At the station, a busker sings Britney Spears. Later on the train, I remember the busker and burst into tears.
I relate to that.
What a beautiful book.
It's only a little
pamphlet. It's described on the back. In this debut pamphlet, acclaimed poet Bridget Minamore explores the sensibilities surrounding love, loss, and the subsequent struggles we all face at some point in our relationships.
Totally recommend it, though. Buy it.
Very beautiful.
Go out and buy it. I'll do one more.
What's the website on the back?
The website on the back is outspoken.com/outspoken press.
Great.
This one's called No, No, No. The blue in your words is between us now. It squats on ocean shoulders and watches us try to talk small. Sits pissing and spitting in the spaces between each wave. We're getting shat on every time we try and have a conversation, and I'm angry you still can't smell it. It's so rancid, I can taste it. The tip of my tongue, but you always seem to have a cold. Your nose is blocked and my eyes are running.
Oh.
It's fantastic.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Go check out Bridget Minamore because I find it very relatable.
Okay, so cocktail moment. We are at the house of our producer, Alex Mackenzie.
In a beautiful room.
It's absolutely stunning.
I just played an auto harp.
Alex makes the most amazing kombucha. And since Alex has introduced me to kombucha, I've started making kombucha at home with Ali, and it is good, but it is not as good yet. And Alex has gone one step further and made maple syrup kombucha, so maple flavoured kombucha.
How's he done that?
So using the fermentation process with your kombucha alien, we call it kombucha alien.
This is why I don't have it. It looks like a lump of fucking deceased flesh in a jar.
It is. It's like if someone cut off the back of your calf and put it in a jar. It's that kind of fleshy mushroom vibe. It's
intense. I saw it and Alex was like, do you want some? And I was like, fuck off.
No.
That's dead.
But it's not. It's alive, and it's creating. You feed it with tea and
worse.
sugar, and then with this one, you feed it with tea, and then you add the maple syrup, and that makes the maple kombucha. And then once you've got your liquid, if you reduce that down to a syrup, you get kombucha maple syrup.
Okay.
Genius. So you're
Yeah.
doing 3 processes.
Yeah.
So we were tasting that. It's fucking delicious. It's
Yeah.
like it's like maple syrup, but it's got the
It's sourness to it.
yeah, sour,
Yeah.
bitter, like kombucha-y umami flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about what to do for cocktail moment, and we thought, well, why not do a classic old-fashioned? But
What's a
instead of
classic old-fashioned?
classic old-fashioned is a sugar lump doused in Angostura bitters with rye whiskey or bourbon, stirred over ice, and then served with a slice of orange.
Okay.
Now, I didn't have any orange.
I did notice, actually.
We are doing sans garnish with this
Okay.
cocktail moment. And I
reason-
do think that the drink would be better with a slice of orange in it. I have put a couple of drops of lemon juice in it to give it the acidity.
Real lemon juice.
Yes. No. No, I totally fucked it. But this is I've got the maple kombucha, and I poured it into the bottom of the glass, and then I just twisted it round the glass and did a little coating,
Okay.
and then poured it into the next glass. So not too much. Then I've added 4 ice cubes to each glass.
4.
Poured over the this is Jim Beam bourbon that we used, and then put the Angostura bitters over the top and gave it a stir. I thought it needed a bit more sweetener, so I added a teaspoon extra of the maple syrup on top, and then a couple of drops of, in this case, not real lemon juice.
Okay. You use Jif lemon.
Yeah. When needs must.
Okay.
Oh, that's nice. That's a little...
To me, it smells like circa 1999 in Fibber McGee's in Dublin. It smells like JD and red lemonade.
So rude.
What? It smells like Southern Comfort a little bit as well, peaches and pears. I'm sorry my palate's not...
No, there is no one has a wrong palate. I don't believe in it. There's no right way to taste stuff.
I'm getting a bang in 1999 off this anyway. I'm going to taste it.
It's quite smoky.
Oh, the first thing that hits me is scotch.
Yeah, that'll be the Jim Beam.
Oh.
That's the, yeah.
Oh, and then there's a lovely sweetness afterwards.
It comes after, doesn't it? When you first try it, it's quite like, oh, fuck. But then you get the like more subtle flavour. You get the kind of mapley tea, kombucha. It's nice.
It tastes like barley sugar that you used to get in Costello's Chemist just down there in Marino Mart, just off the Fairview Park, if you live in Dublin.
Is it a bit seaweedy?
Hold on, let me give it another go.
Does it have that? I'm getting like a bit of... Did you give me some seaweed from Ireland once? Mm-hmm. Tastes a bit like that. It needs the orange. Like the slice of orange would definitely give it that extra lift. But it is not the drink I would normally drink at 4:00 in the afternoon. That's for sure. This is a gone midnight
what time it is
drink.
now? Thank God I've got nothing scheduled for the rest of the day except I might have a lie down after this. I do love our cocktail moment.
Oh, I love it. And I got a crunchy bit of ice. Let's go.
Well, you see, when I was bartending, we were always told to fill the glass with ice because then the ice stays icy. When some fecker comes in and is like, I only want 1 cube of ice. And I'm like, well, you're just going to fucking water down your drink then.
Yeah.
You know, you spanner. So
They think they're going to get more drink if you...
It's a false economy.
Doesn't work. Now, this is something I do really believe in. And
Okay.
I
love your beliefs, so go on.
This is a very good friend. I went to a friend's house recently and they had silicone ice cubes, but they were really big ice cubes. Like
Okay.
big ones.
Yeah.
Like just about fit in a glass. And they're the best. And if you go on, I don't know, a website that's not owned by a multi-billionaire conglomerate nightmare called Jeff Bezos, you can just get them for like £12 next day delivery. And they're really good. Silicone ice cubes.
I just put water in the freezer.
Yeah, but these go in your freezer.
So does water.
No, but they're the thing that holds the water that goes... It's an ice cube tray.
Yeah, like you can just use...
You can't just pour water into your freezer.
I don't do that. I put it in a receptacle of sorts.
Oh, God, what do you put it in?
Like, I've got things.
Do you have an ice cube tray?
Well, I've got these little things that me and Phoenix got to make chocolates in. like little chocolates.
Oh, they're the worst because they melt too quickly. They're tiny. You've given me a drink with those before. Ruined my day.
Where's all this fucking shade coming from? I'm aware that I'm a little bit hit and miss when it comes to accommodating people. And I believe everybody in this room, which is you and Alex McKenzie. Alex, you've been to my dinner soirees, haven't you? Yeah. I've cooked for you. Yeah. It's either incredibly good or fucking weird.
I like the weird stuff the best.
Like, here's my pickled gherkin jam.
Yeah,
whiskey.
like you've done some great mixes before, and it's always interesting to see where you're going to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I remember making mashed potato with rainbow sprinkles on it because it looked so good. And people were just like, it's a bit of a mess, right?
Yeah, which is a shame because
you want that to work. So good.
Because that's how you do in TV. That's what you do fake ice cream with. You make smashed potato and dye it, and then it stays solid but looks like ice cream.
I mean, I remember when I made the Who Shall Not Be Named a sandwich, and he didn't know what he wanted, so I made him half a chicken and sweet corn, and then the other half of the sandwich was tuna with peas in a sandwich, and he was like, this is fucked up. You're one from the Vicar of Dibley.
Yeah.
Like the anchovy paste ice
cream. But
I
like the experimentation of that. I think that's cute.
Like, I made Phoenix a rainbow pancake because he wanted a rainbow pancake. The red was strawberry. The orange, I can't remember what the orange was. The yellow was sweet corn.
Oh, wow.
And the green was spinach. And then the blue was blueberries. And he was like, this is amazing. This is yummy. Like, I tasted it. It was all kinds of wrong.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, I was obsessed with Dr. Seuss Green Eggs and Sam. Green Eggs and Sam? Green Eggs and Ham. I do not like them, Sam I Am. Yeah. I do not like green eggs and ham. I was like, I think that looks really yummy. So I was like, Dad, can you make me green eggs and ham? And bless his heart, he took the yolk out of an egg, whisked the egg white up with some green food colouring, put the yolk back in and did a fried egg like that. And then for the ham, he just
Your dad's an artist.
Yeah, I think he made a solution of water and green food colouring, and he just dipped the ham in it, and it went this really disgusting grey-green colour.
God.
And then he spent ages doing it, and then he served it up to me and was like, green eggs and ham. And I tried it, and I was like, yeah, that's disgusting. I didn't want to eat it. It was really horrible.
I do not like green eggs and ham.
I do not like it, Sam I Am.
Oh, that's lovely. I think my best childhood memory was when I used to get in after school and we'd make the boys rounds of sandwiches, which would be cheese with onion and a bowl of Heinz tomato soup, and they'd eat it in front of the telly watching the football or whatever.
Nice.
And then my mum would make me a bowl of raspberry ripple ice cream with a mashed banana through it.
Nice.
That was nice.
That sounds good.
Or a gookie egg. Do you ever have a gookie? Is that
What's
a thing over here?
Egg?
A gookie egg is egg in a cup that's runny with some... Alex, you're Scottish. Maybe it's a Scottish thing as well. I don't know. It must have some kind of...
so is it like a loosely boiled egg that you take the shell off and smash up with a fork in a bowl?
And put in a fuck ton of butter. Yeah.
Oh, wow. And you just add butter?
Yeah, gookie egg.
That sounds amazing.
It's
I would
so
like
simple
it.
And so lovely.
So for me, an egg has to be... Every bit of the white has to be cooked and none of the yolk. So
God, that's very specific
and
challenging.
I really, really hate when you get a fried egg. Even thinking about it's making me gag. A fried egg where the white is still wobbling on top.
Oh, okay. It's had me a bit of a shiver, actually.
Or when you open a boiled egg and you take off the lid and it's still... Oh, no, it's not nice. Why is that having such an effect on me today?
Because, look, you have this weird thing...
Texture.
About vegetables and things that are slimy. You don't like touching vegetable ends, and I am literally, that's all I leak is vegetable ends because I'm always snacking on a cucumber or a carrot.
But that's what I worry about having kids, is that they're always chewing on some bit of fucking carrot or cucumber or something.
Look, every parent has a thing that they can't stand. A lot of the time it's snot.
Yeah.
That some people just can't fucking touch it. I don't know what mine is. I think it's chronic whining.
When we went to New York, my nephew Arthur, I think he was just a bit ill while we were there. Mm-hmm. And he just, whenever he laughed, a huge bubble of snot would come out of his nose. And Edna and Hagen were like, it's disgusting, we're really sorry. And I was like, it might be the cutest thing in the world. I don't know why. It was just this
Snot bubbles are cute.
Very sweet.
Phoenix had a cold recently. real snotty one. And he woke up. I think I was on the phone to you, or we going to you or something like that. And he had just crusted snot
all over his face.
And I was like, oh, baby, do you want to go into the bath and wash your face? And he's like, why, mummy? And I was like,
look in the mirror, mate. It's just everywhere.
I mean, it was a real mess. And I was like, it's hard being a kid, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really difficult.
Because, the ratio of snot just seems to, I don't know, the ability to blow your nose is probably better as you grow older. What the fuck kind of cocktail moment is this?
I think it's quite nice. It's just like we're having a cocktail and a chat.
Oh my God,
I was just trying to get everyone to buy big ice cubes, but you shat all over that plan, didn't you?
Oh, I don't know. Cheers.
Cheers. It's been good getting back into the studio.
Hasn't it?
Yeah, guys, thank you so much for listening. We are sorry that we've had a quiet few months, but it has been...
Well, it's not very quiet at all for us. That's why
it's been we've been quiet because we've been busy, but it has been a fucking miserable winter. And
it was long and cold.
It was long and cold, and I think as spring happened, we just needed a bit of time.
Yeah, I think
we're back, and this is great.
I think unashamedly, because we talked about two people about promoting the podcast and how to move it forward, and they were like, "Oh, you're a young podcast, you need to have at least 100 episodes." And I'm like, we can't push this because it has to be on our terms and work around our lives. Otherwise, we're just talking shite.
It's very much the same as, I don't know, if you asked a musician to write 100 songs, or if you asked an artist to do 100 paintings and then gave them a time frame. I know people can work like that. Yeah. We are not those people. Like I did it the other day. It's such a consistent process now that I've accepted that I do it. But if I want to draw something, or if I'm feeling creative, I will entirely clean the kitchen, faff around, iron a shirt, put on new clothes, and then eventually get round to doing a drawing. And it's very, very frustrating that that's what I need to do, but it helps to be in a clean space to then draw. That's only if I'm drawing at home. If I go to the studio, I'm fine.
Yeah, I kind of get that. A lot of I have tactical procrastination in my home. My home's very clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for listening in. Thank you for sharing the word about this podcast. We really rely on people doing that. We're only little.
Yeah, please tell everyone about it. Tell your folks about it. Tell your friends about it.
And if you
tweet about us,
have an artist and have a question, we love hearing your questions. Email us at artiststhatartworking@gmail.com, or go to Instagram, artiststhatartworking. Is that it?
At Artists That Are Working, yeah.
Or like /artiststhatartworking.
No, on Instagram, I think it's just at. The Patreon was the one with the / We don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just Instagram now, guys. We do not really use Twitter because we think it's a heinously abusive space. And we don't have our Patreon at the moment because the admin got on top of both of us and it became quite stressful. But we will be bringing it back in a new format over the next couple of months. So do watch this space and listen out for updates.
Yeah, basically, it's just us two, and we're fucking chaotic artists. We're doing our best, and I'm trying to be as transparent with people as possible about how hard it is to manage everything. And sometimes we just put things down because it's too hard to manage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same to you. If you guys need a bit of a break, have a break. That's my sign-off advice. If you need a break, take a break.
Take a break.
Basically a Kit Kat advert, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Have a break.
I do want to just shoehorn this in. I needed to take a break there recently from work because everything, I know my parameters, and I signed on for Universal Credit and leaned into that for a couple of months.
Nice.
So if you need any advice about that kind of stuff, get in touch as well, because I've done it and I'm a freelancer and it's slightly tricky, but I've done it.
Yeah. It is difficult at the moment, and I know lots of people are struggling, so let's just be really supportive of each other. If you can offer anyone any support, whether it's going for a chat, giving them a drink, cooking them a meal,
cup of tea,
whatever you need to do, just let's make sure we keep an eye on everyone at this point.
Yeah, because everyone's just like, oh my God, the pandemic, so it's not. We're all really fragile Freddys. real then.
I mean, I could do a whole episode starting from now about being a fragile Freddy, so let's just end.